Tēnā tātou katoa, nā mihi hoki mō o koutou aroha. It's, well, quite a bit has happened since I was here standing with you a year ago. But we've still got a shortage of teachers. In fact, it's undoubtedly worsened. Just ask your principals how they're getting on with recruitment for next year or finding relievers. Children are still missing out on the one-to-one time they need with us, so no change there, at least none for the better. But there are some things that are different. What's different is that we've got a Labour, Greens, New Zealand First coalition government, and both unions are in negotiations with them to agree the terms and conditions that will once again make teaching the valued, desirable profession that it was. What's different is that our two unions have grown by the thousands. What's different is that we have got absolute proof, rather than just a feeling and a worry, that our communities are with us. What's different is that we are united. What's different is that our time is now. Kua tae te wā. Now, clearly, with that last korero, I think it's pretty clear it's not all going to be cups of tea and wildflower posies. The reality is that when working people stand up for their rights and stand up for their profession, the holders of the purse strings get anxious and sometimes plain mean. We're going to need to stay strong, positive, and aspirational if we come under attack. We are doing what is right for the right reasons. And some will call us greedy. They will say we care more about ourselves than our tamariki mokopuna or our school community. They will say that we're lazy. They will say we should wait our turn. They will say there's no P.T.A, or that others deserve it more than us. They will say, this is my favourite one, that we rolled over under a national government. Those things are lies. They are deliberate pieces of political spin designed to pit our communities against us. Well, I've got a message for the people who say those things. Teachers are united. We will not stop until our profession is respected and valued as it should be. We cannot stop because our children need us to keep going. Lies and obfuscation always fall to truth, fairness, equity, and justice. We know that teachers bring out the best in their communities, in tamariki mokopuna, in society, kia puwai te pai. We're also lucky that we've got a Prime Minister who is absolutely committed to ensuring New Zealand is the best place to be a child, because her support for this mahi will be critical. Jacinda Ardern's government has an opportunity in the palm of their hands to transform the lives of children across this country. The way that they need to show that transformational leadership that we hear about, that we read about, that people in the United Nations apparently are swept up by, is that you start with the people who make a difference in every young person's life. You start there. For our young people, we are the greatest, the first, and oftentimes the only contact with the public services that government delivers. Teachers are. We are the ones who are actually out there caring for them, nurturing and educating the country's children, and we need the ability to do it. The fundamental role that we play as the guardians of our most valuable taonga has had almost unprecedented visibility in the media and in our communities. In part, this comes down to the big collective agreements and the timing of those for this year. In part, it comes down to education being political fodder. But what we know is that the importance of education for tamariki mokopuna, for wider society, the growing concern of students, whānau, that we have a profession who, after a decade of squeeze and measure, who have been damaged, who can't keep on keeping on, who can't carry that load as fewer people are coming in and staying in, and the work doesn't disappear. The complexity, the challenge, it's part of what makes it amazing. But the assumption that you've got to do it on your own is fatally flawed. The public has caught on to what you, NZEI Te Riu Roa, have been saying for years. They are with you. We, P.P.T.A. Te Ringaroa, we are with you. We are stronger together. What you saw on the 15th of August was huge public support, huge awhi for what you do. And yet somehow, when it comes to collective agreement rounds, all of that work, all of that effort, all of that striving and all of the good that comes from it is reduced down to a statement that, well, everyone else is getting about that. There's something wrong with that logic, eh? We all know that we need a career framework that provides guaranteed opportunities to develop our skills. We know that we need working conditions that support us to be the very best that we can for our children. We know that we need extra support for those children who need it most. And of course, we need time. Time. Not 12 and a half minutes and then it's gone. We need time to be the best, to implement the things to make sure that our children are the best. We need time to get the balance right rather than drowning. We are stronger together. The more of us who stand together, that includes all of those members and all of your schools and all of those non-members and all of those students and all of those whānau, because that is how political decisions get made. They will not walk towards the water singing Kumbaya. Even if Maury was to get out the gat again, that was quite impressive, eh? I am absolutely overwhelmed at being invited to be here to stand amongst you. It is the most enjoyable part of my job to be out with actual teachers, in actual schools, in hui like these. E hara takutoa he te tō takitahi. Engari, he tō takitini. This year, it's time. Kia ora.